Before his mother ever felt a kick in her womb, Samson had already been chosen, not by man, but by God. The land of Israel groaned under the weight of Philistine rule. For 40 years the people cried out, but no deliverer rose, until a barren woman in the hill country of Zorah encountered a presence that would change everything. She was nameless in the scriptures, but heaven knew her well. One day, the angel of the Lord appeared to her.
"You are barren,"
he said,
"but you will conceive and give birth to a son."
The instructions were strict: no wine, no unclean food, and no razor was ever to touch his head. This child would be a Nazirite, set apart to God from the womb. His purpose? To begin the deliverance of Israel from the Philistines. Her husband Manoah was filled with awe and confusion. He pleaded, "Let the man of God come again and teach us how to raise the boy." The angel returned, and after offering a burnt sacrifice, fire rose from the rock, and the angel ascended in the flames. Terrified, Manoah cried,
"We shall surely die, for we have seen God."
But his wife reassured him.
"If the Lord meant to kill us, he wouldn't have accepted our offering."
And so she bore a son. They named him Samson. And as he grew, the Spirit of the Lord began to stir him in Mahane Dan, between Zorah and Eshtaol. But no one, not even Samson, knew how costly his calling would be. He wasn't just strong. He was unpredictable, dangerous, and driven by passion. And it started with a woman. Samson saw a Philistine woman in Timnah. She pleased him. "Get her for me," he told his parents. They objected, "Is there no woman among our people?" But they didn't realize this was from the Lord, who was seeking an occasion to confront the Philistines. On his way to see her again, a young lion came roaring toward him, and the Spirit of the Lord rushed upon Samson. With his bare hands, he tore the lion apart like a goat. Later, he returned to that spot and found a swarm of bees and honey inside the carcass. He ate it and gave some to his parents, but told no one of the lion. At the wedding feast, Samson posed a riddle to 30 Philistine men. Out of the eater came something to eat. Out of the strong came something sweet. They couldn't solve it. For days they tried. Finally, they pressured Samson's wife. She wept and pleaded until he broke. She revealed the answer, and they won the wager. Samson, enraged, stormed off to Ashkelon, killed 30 men, stripped them of their garments, and paid his debt. When he returned, his wife had been given to his best man. And that was the spark that lit the fire. Samson burned. He caught 300 foxes, tied them in pairs by their tails, and fastened torches to them. He set them loose in Philistine fields, grain, vineyards, and olive groves, all burned to ash. In retaliation, the Philistines burned his wife and her father. So Samson struck them with a great slaughter. He retreated to the rock of Etam. Philistine forces came to Judah. Hand over Samson, they demanded. 3,000 men of Judah went to the rock. "Don't you know the Philistines rule over us?" they asked. He agreed to go, bound with ropes, but warned, "Swear to me you won't kill me yourselves." They brought him to the Philistines. As they shouted in triumph, the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him. He snapped the ropes like threads. He grabbed the fresh jawbone of a donkey, and with it he struck down 1,000 men. Drained and near death from thirst, he cried out, "You've given this victory. Will I now die of thirst?" God split a hollow place and water poured out. Samson revived. He judged Israel 20 years, but a storm still brewed in his soul. Gaza thought its gates could hold him, but Samson didn't ask for permission. He ripped the city open. One night, Samson went to Gaza and visited a prostitute. Word spread, "He's here. At dawn, we'll kill him." But at midnight, Samson got up. He approached the city gates, massive, reinforced, locked. He tore them from their hinges, lifted them on his shoulders, and carried them to the top of a hill facing Hebron. It was a statement, "You cannot hold me." But Gaza's defeat wasn't complete, because Gaza had a secret weapon, not a sword, a woman. Her name was Delilah. Delilah, beautiful, charming, dangerous. The Philistine lords came to her. "Find out the secret of his strength. We'll each give you 1,100 pieces of silver." She tried. First ropes, then new ropes, then weaving his hair. Every time he lied and escaped. But she kept pressing, day after day like a steady drip of poison. Finally, Samson's soul was vexed to death. He told her everything. "No razor has touched my head," he said. "If I'm shaved, I'll be weak like any man." That night, as he slept on her lap, she shaved his head. "Samson, the Philistines are upon you." He rose to fight, but he did not know the Lord had left him. They seized him. They gouged out his eyes. They shackled him. And in the prison of Gaza, he became a grinder of grain, blind, broken, forgotten. But his hair began to grow, and so did something deeper. The Philistines celebrated. "Bring out Samson," they said. "Let him entertain us." The blind man was led by the hand into the great temple of Dagon. Over 3,000 filled the rooftop, watching. He asked the servant, "Let me feel the pillars that I may rest upon them." Then he prayed, "O Lord God, remember me. Strengthen me once more that I may avenge my eyes." He placed his hands on the two central pillars. One push, and the entire structure collapsed. Rubble, screams, dust. Samson killed more in his death than in all his life. His brothers came and took his body, burying him between Zorah and Eshtaol. And that was the end of the man who could not be stopped. But even in death, God remembered him. Moral lesson. Samson's story is not just about power, it's about purpose. He was chosen, anointed, and empowered, but he often used God's gifts for personal desire rather than divine assignment. His strength was not in his muscles, but in his covenant. And when that covenant was broken, so was he. Yet even in failure, God's mercy found him. Even in blindness, God gave him vision for one last act of redemption. The lesson? It's not enough to be gifted. What matters is who you trust, what you live for, and how you finish. Stay faithful, stay humble, and never forget the source of your strength.